Dinner for shoes, please. Hello, and welcome to an episode of Dinner for Shoes. I love it when I wear tall boots and you can barely see me. It's also good that you can barely see me right now because I can't see myself yet, and I am not wearing anything underneath my trench coat besides a bodysuit, so you may be able to see my vagina. But let's do the outfit behind the shoes, and then I'll take the boots and I'll put them on and we'll see. We'll do the big reveal whether or not you can see my vagina. I'm trying to make it, honestly, the reason why I'm wearing nothing underneath this trench coat is simply because I'm lazy. Like, I didn't feel like creating the outfit underneath the trench, okay? And yes, there is a very specific reason why I'm wearing a trench today, this gold necklace, these boots, so we'll get there. Before I do outfit behind the shoes, I should probably say the name of the episode. The name of the episode is Bolognese. Bolognese. Haven't had Bolognese yet on the pod. I'm really excited. And Black Friday. Bolognese and Black Friday. Okay, can you see my vagina? I tried to tuck in my, let's see. F me. I have to now clean this runner after. Oh, all right. It looks like I kind of made pants out of this trench, right? Cool. Get you a trench that can do it all. We're going to be talking about that today, hence Black Friday. All right, so Bolognese and Black Friday, now that it's been 2 minutes. We talked to celebrity and wedding stylist Risa Kostis for today's episode. She is our special guest. She is also the founder of the Rescue Kit Company. She is such an incredible self-made person. I learned so much from our conversation. I know I say that when we have any special guest on, right? That I learn so much, but it is true that I do learn so much from all of my different guests. But Risa definitely went after her passion and her hobby and created a job and a business around it. And I think a lot of people maybe they fall into the businesses that they're in and they really do enjoy it, thankfully. But they kind of knew all along they wanted to do it. And it was almost like Risa just she was like, you know what? I really like weddings, but then what product could I create out of all of the wedding styling that I'm doing? Is there a product that goes with that? And she just happened to come up with the best product. I'm getting a little hot because I don't have the air on today and it is kind of humid out. It's raining. I personally think rain is a great weather for eating bolognese, so I'm excited about that, but we might have to open the door or put on the AC because the sweat is real. And so Risa talked to us about how she founded the Rescue Kit Company. She talked to us about wedding styling. She talked to us about styling in general. She didn't talk to you. Well, I guess she did talk to you. You were in the room. And yeah, so we are also, though, going to talk to her, you will see, about some of her recommendations for Black Friday. Being a stylist and being a fashion person the same way I am, I like to think that I am a good shopper. It is my job. It is also her job. We both have a very good head on our shoulders when it comes to recommending shopping purchases on Black Friday. So Risa not only recommended some great sites to look out for amazing deals on Black Friday, since this episode is launching at the proper time, but she also she shared with us what she would tell her brides to shop for on Black Friday, which is hugely important. Now, I am not sure why my boots are laying down on the table. I don't remember when that happened, but Risa has a great eye for Black Friday deals, as I hope I do too. But she has that whole bridal lens that I don't really have. I mean, for any of you who don't know, I did fully plan a wedding. Very glad that wedding didn't work out, but I did know and learn when to look for deals, what sort of deals to look for. And I just so happened to have bought a dress that I thought I was going to wear for one of my wedding events on Black Friday. So as you will hear from Risa, there are definitely sites to pay attention to tell your bridesmaids to pay attention to. I would say that was probably my biggest takeaway from Risa and our conversation. She was like, brides, tell your bridesmaids to get their bridesmaids dresses, even if your wedding's a year from now, but on Black Friday. That is the best time to get the deals, especially if your bride has told you what she prefers that you wear, whatever. I don't necessarily agree with brides telling bridesmaids what to wear, but it is a tradition and it's kind of inescapable. So, I mean, yeah, that's one great thing that a bride can do is like hit up her bridesmaids and be like, yo, like that dress you liked is on sale. Like it's the least you can do, you know? And Black Friday, like as a shopper, I don't really shop a lot. And that's an interesting thing. I shop for a living, so I guess I associate shopping with work. So I don't tend to really shop for myself often. I'm not normally like on the site. So my homework for today's episode to prepare some of the best Black Friday deals for a fashionista that I would recommend was to shop. And I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, maybe I should do this more often. Like maybe I should start shopping. But yeah, so I am, we're gonna talk about the outfit behind the shoes, which I already said 42 minutes ago, but we're gonna start doing it. And then you're gonna listen to my conversation with Risa. You're gonna learn all about her, how she founded the Rescue Kit Company, which is essentially a rescue kit for brides. It has anything and everything that a styling assistant would have on hand to help you fix your look before you walk down the aisle. And Risa thought of it all, don't you worry. And she has the best of the best products in this kit, right? But we are going to listen to what she has to say about her recommendations for Black Friday shopping and just how she became the amazing fashion force that she is in the industry. And then after that, I'm going to try her favorite meal, which is Bolognese. And we're going to talk about what? Are you scared about something? I wish that she would put her tail like really puffy and big like a pipe cleaner, because she does that all the time. And then she does like the Halloween cat and like bounces sideways across the room. I love it. So I hope she would do that. But I mean, let's see. I think I'm going to sit. Why didn't I wear pants? Why didn't I wear pants? Why? So yes. So anyway, then I'm going to talk about some of my favorite sale recommendations for Black Friday. The not just the sales, but the items I think you should be looking out for if you're going to make purchases on Black Friday. I'll explain why I feel that they are the best possible items. We'll have Risa's dish, Bolognese. Now, I did ask Risa what her favorite meal was, her favorite dish. And because we were gearing up for Thanksgiving, she was like, well, I really do like potatoes on Thanksgiving, but her ultimate favorite meal is Bolognese. I was like, Bolognese is easy. I didn't know it was going to be raining the day I recorded this episode, but it is. And I can now enjoy my Bolognese on a rainy day. I mean, of course. So let's talk about the outfit behind the shoes. Now, spoiler alert. My producer just texted me. I love that. I love it when that happens. We're going to put on these boots. These boots are by Schutz. These boots are by Schutz, literally, the brand Schutz. And they are the Maryana. They are croc embossed. They're in this ivory. I wear them all the fucking time. They are good for going out. They could work for workwear. They could honestly dress up a casual outfit like jeans and a white t-shirt. They're incredible. They are one of my recommendations to buy for Black Friday because they just so happen to be on sale right now. Now, as well as boots, because we're going to talk about boots. That's one of my recommendations for what you should buy on Black Friday. As well as boots, I do believe you should buy a trench coat. If you're going to buy any outerwear on Black Friday, listen, Risa might know the wedding stuff, but I know the fashion stuff, and I am telling you, a trench coat, specifically one that has really cool eye-catching details. For example, I really love the collar on my Donna Karan one. You want a trench coat. Now, if you feel like, but I want a thicker jacket than that, I want like a cocoon coat, something that can last me through the winter. They are making trench coats now like you've never seen before. Trench coats that are reversible. Trench coats that have lining, that offer that extra warmth in the form of wool or jersey. There's hoods on the back of trench coats. Trench coats are having a moment where I'm telling you, they are next level. It's the trench coat 2.0. And while I love my Donna Karan one, I do think that some of the ones I'm going to recommend are even cooler, where you're like mind blown that they make trench coats that are this cool. And of course, they are marked down for Black Friday. So I also think that is, well, that's why I'm wearing this. Now, I will say, as I put on these boots, Megan, just hopefully my producer does not show my vagina if stepping into the boots is revealing. Oh, leg. Again, honestly, like I tell you guys how to get dressed and I don't do it well. All right, rest of the outfit. Okay, earrings, simple gold hoops. Jewelry is also a recommendation for Black Friday. Now, I do always suggest buying jewelry for yourself. If you watched our previous episode with Dana and Rebecca, that is one of the things that her brand touts. You deserve to treat yourself to jewelry. So yes, there are some great jewelry deals that I'm going to highlight for Black Friday. Oh, there's Trish. Come on up. Come on up. Don't yawn at me. Don't yawn at me. Do I really bore you that much? She's clawing at the table. She's clawing at the coffee table. But I'm also wearing my Jenny Bird. You guys know I probably talk about Jenny Bird or wear a Jenny Bird piece in like every episode, but this is my gold chain link choker by Jenny Bird. And again, it's another classic piece of jewelry I wear all the time. When I was shopping for you and I was curating the best jewelry deals to take advantage of on Black Friday, I, of course, only am recommending jewelry that I know you will end up wearing again and again and again. Now, I also tried the same way I did when last episode when I was talking about like the best holiday jewelry gifts. I tried to make sure that my recommendations ran the gamut for people who have all different senses of style, all different aesthetics. But I think I do just naturally look within and lean more towards my taste, which is kind of like classic, but with a little twist. Like I really love elevated pieces that have a little bit of that like what factor, like what is weird about that color? Like why isn't that classic and regular? I will also say, I think that this trench coat, I don't know if I showed it off. Well, you can look at the picture of my outfit, but it has a very long belt, which I think is really cool and eye-catching. And your coat is cool and eye-catching. Oh, can you see her? Oh no, you can't. She's literally having a spaz attack on the side of the couch. All right, what are you doing? No, Dad will be mad. Don't do that. Don't claw at that. He likes this couch. Couches are probably also a great thing to invest in on Black Friday. They are, in fact, but I'm a fashion person and I can't really tell you much about couches. My cats scratch couches, clearly. Anyway, so I consider this coat an elevated brown paper bag. And I love that. I love that for me. I love that for my closet. I love that for my vagina that is shielded by it. Like, it's great. Okay, so you go listen. I'm dealing with a lot right now, clearly, and I'm sweating. I probably need to get like a tissue to wipe off my head. You go listen to my interview with Risa, learn all about her incredible styling career, how it led her to launch the rescue kit company. Spoiler alert. Well, there's actually two things I have to tell you guys. The most important is that Risa, if you listen closely during the interview, please do, but we will also put it in the description. Risa is offering our Dinner for Shoes listeners their own code, which is for Black Friday, but extends beyond Black Friday for the rescue kit company. So if you know a bride, you want to gift this to her for the holidays, I mean, probably the best way you can use this code, but go take a listen to my interview with Risa and learn about her awesomeness and the rescue kit company.
Fashion was not on the agenda. It was not even like a blip on the radar. I grew up wanting to be a Broadway actress. So there was no mission to go to fashion school. I didn't even know fashion school existed. And I actually ended up starting my career in hair and makeup. So when I was 21, I launched my first business doing hair and makeup for weddings, which was, at the time a foreshadowing for what would eventually happen in my career later in life, but I had no idea. And I had started in the wedding industry when I was 10, singing in weddings. So it was like, it was always in my bones to do something in weddings and style and fashion. But, and I was that person who would always, do my friend's hair and spend hours on curling my bangs and like getting the perfect crimp. And my sisters would steal my clothes. Every dollar that I got from allowance or every, 50 that my grandmother slipped me went to fashion. I was like, take all of my money, Contempo Casuals, like, please, I'm like, I just want to get dressed. And so I didn't know that it was like a passion, I guess, at the time, but anyway, it was always in my bones. And my mom is an incredible seamstress. So I grew up seeing her at the sewing machine, creating things and creating like ready to wear pieces for us and just playing with fabrics and making my own scrunchies. And so it's always sort of been in the fabric of my life, in the DNA. But, fashion was just not something that I even knew could be a career for me. So the hair and makeup industry, when I got my cosmetology license, it was sort of that first step into like, okay, this is a license for something that I could maybe spin it off into something else. And it wasn't until like people started pointing it out in me, I guess, that I knew that fashion could be a choice for me. And when I was 21 and started this business, it all spun off of a girlfriend of mine asking me to do her hair and makeup for her wedding. And I did sing in the wedding too. So I had this kind of like integral role in her big day. And I thought, like, you trust me to do this? And she's like, yeah, you're going to do great. I'm not even worried. And I don't even think I was fully licensed at the time. And it just didn't matter. I think when you have something in your bones and when you have a natural knack for something, you will try like crazy to get it right and to perfect it. And you don't have to have gone to school, and you don't have to have learned, in a traditional learning environment to harness your craft. And so she trusted me enough, and therefore I ended up trusting myself enough. And when I moved out to San Francisco when I was 21, that's when I really sort of went full throttle into my own business. And it wasn't until I met a fashion designer through that work. I was working at a day spa. I was hustling for brides, doing hair and makeup for brides in San Francisco, and just doing as much as I could on the side while working at a spa at the front desk and meeting as many people as I could. And that's really where I learned about the power of networking. And then I met a fashion designer, and it was just like full send fashion from there. Yeah. That's crazy. Amazing. I mean, the story is long, but that's like that's how it all started.
Yeah. And I feel like so many people that I talk to, it's very similar where like they maybe didn't start in the fashion industry and they didn't even like dream that it could be a career. And then all it takes is like those people in the beginning of your career that have trust in you. It's just like you need a few of them. And then it's fine. And you're like, I can run with this. I can do it. So that is so amazing. So then how did you come up with the idea for the Rescue Kit company? Do you want to explain a little bit about what it is and maybe like your dreams for the future of it?
Yeah. The ceiling is the floor. Isn't that the Michael Jordan quote? I mean, I am so obsessed with this work. And, when I was still living in the Bay Area, I was getting ready to move to New York to do PR for a women's clothing line. And it was 2007, and I ended up moving in 2008. But I was sitting around with some girlfriends, and I sort of had this like idea pop into my head. And I thought, one day I think I want to have kind of a one-stop shop for weddings. And I don't know what that means, but I picture this huge building where you can do everything for your planning process all in one building. Like the first floor would be like the planning floor, and the second floor might be, photography and videography. And then the third floor might be like creative, like paper and florals and things like that. And I just had this idea for this kind of department store of wedding planning. And I knew in my bones that I would come back to brides. There was always like, it's like we have to do these random things along our journey that help us connect the dots later. And I think your passion is always inside of you, and you'll always find it again, even if you have to step away from it for a minute to be like, oh yeah, wait, I still love that thing. So when I, moved to New York and did fashion PR, I got that experience under my belt. And then I moved to Phoenix, where I am now and have been for almost 15 years. And I knew I would launch my business in Phoenix because I wanted to be, for lack of a better term, like big fish in a small pond, which I'm not by any means, but I wanted to launch in a smaller pond is what I'm saying. And I wanted to sort of stand out in this career that I was hoping to build. And I really had to launch my styling business first to establish my name. And I didn't even know that this day of dressing service that I now provide for brides would help put me into the product space. But when I was living in the Bay Area, I learned everything there was to know about small business, launching a product line, manufacturing, production, wholesale, retail, launching an e-commerce site. Like those were the days of sort of like 2003 to 2008. And everybody was launching something on the internet, and I learned how to do all sides of it. And so I've taken all of this, culmination of experience and launched my styling company, which I knew would have a leg of it, doing fashion or doing weddings. And when I established myself as a stylist, I started connecting with wedding photographers, and I did dabble a little bit in wedding planning just so I could understand timelining, and friends would ask me to plan their weddings, and I ended up planning a few of them along the way just as part of my consulting business. I know you're like, this is a lot of experience. I could list it all and you'd be reading like a novel.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And it's so wild to think that I've done all of those jobs. You'd think I was 85 years old, but like, no, I just kind of started cranking out like, oh, I'm like, I'll try that. But now when I think about it, it's given me every tool in my toolbox, you know, literally and figuratively, to be able to have this day of dressing service, which ultimately lended itself to a product line. So it was 2018 and I was working a wedding for free. Okay,
Oh
Sarah, like I was not even getting paid. This photographer said to me, listen, I know you're trying to grow this sort of styling day of dressing. At the time I called it the bride's best friend service.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll give you the photos for free if you come work this wedding. And I was like, yeah, sounds great. Amazing. So I oftentimes don't meet my bride until the day of the wedding. And I show up and I'm like, hi, I'm just kind of here to help you with style and wardrobe and anything that you might need, zipping and double stick taping or whatever it is. And people are kind of like, who is this girl, you know? But we were walking out for first look and a bridesmaid came running down the hall to get me. I was still in the room kind of collecting all of my things. And she said, we have a problem. We need you. And somebody had stepped on the back of my bride's dress and the zipper busted. And anyone who knows anything about broken zippers knows that you either have to be sewn in or the zipper needs to be replaced, which there was no time for that heading down for first look. So I had to dig really, really deep. I remember calling my mom. She was walking into a Broadway show in New York and I was like, how do I thread a needle?
Yeah.
How do I do a stitch? Like, help me. And went down to the front desk and they happened to have pre-threaded needles. So I didn't have to worry about threading the needles. And I ended up sewing her in and I ended up super gluing her. I was like, anything to make sure that this zipper stays in place. I was like, do I have your permission to super glue you in? She was like, whatever you need to do. Poor thing. She was like full blown tears, had to get her makeup redone. It was awful, but it was a light bulb moment. Like if I hadn't have been here, what could be here in my place? Because my professional kit has turned into my arsenal of just every tool under the sun, from glue dots to gaffer's tape to, you know, lint rollers to scissors, etc. And so I knew that if this was happening to one bride in the 2.5 million weddings that are happening in a year, it's got to be happening to another one at this very same time. And I needed something to be able to be there if I couldn't physically be there. So I had a light bulb moment to launch the Rescue Kit Company, and pre-threaded needles was the first thing I put in the kit.
Was there anything else that you knew like had to be part of it? Like it just off the top of your head when you came up with the idea, you were like, okay, these three things definitely always going to be in the rescue kit.
Well, super glue, you know, that wedding was 100% like the catalyst and the brainchild for like all the innovation, but a full sewing kit for sure, because you need to have every thread color, and our pre-threaded needles have all the major bridal colors, but you know, you just never know when somebody's going to have like a multicolored wedding or whatever it is.
Yeah. So, or like a bridesmaid, I guess too. Like if you want to help the bridesmaids, you know?
Oftentimes that's who I'm helping the most.
Yeah.
And groomsmen. I mean, I'm usually sewing groomsmen's ripped shirts and, you know, large pants more than you know. I just did it the other day at a wedding. But yeah, a full sewing kit, the pre-threaded needles and super glue were like the must haves. And double stick tape, I will say, was another one that, you know, you can create a hem, you can do so much, you can close a button gap on a placket. Like there's so much that you can do with that product. So that was also a no-brainer. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Now, okay, so you obviously have a lot going on and you're still working on the Rescue Kit Company, but then you're also styling at the same time. How does like your year look for you? Like what are you mostly focused on right now, and kind of like how do you manage it? Because you're juggling a lot.
Yes, that is an understatement. I should be in the circus. You know, it's so funny because one of my mentors said to me one day, he was like, you know, you could just pick one thing. And I was like, yeah, I could.
Yeah.
That sounds so boring. And I excel at a few things, but there does come a point when you have to really concentrate and become well known for something. And it reminded me that if I want to be really great at something, I need to be like excellent at one thing. Yeah. And then, you know, if I have to jump in and wear some other hats, like I had to fix my bride's hair on Saturday 3 times.
Wow.
And it just wasn't holding. And I ended up having to jump in, and I was like, well, luckily I used to do hair, so I know exactly how to tease and hairspray and where to put the pins so they're hidden. But do I want to do that full time? No. Yeah. My year can look like, you know, working with celebrity clients to doing TV segments to working on people's closets. and, you know, also styling a bride from start to finish. So when she gets engaged, if I'm hired at the beginning process, it really starts with like an hour-long consult on how to, like, what to expect with your wardrobe and how to break things in, and, you know, just across the board, who my favorite vendors are to work with. I mean, I've just been doing this for so long that I really am like the Angie's List of weddings, you know. I don't even know if that's still a company, but I'm like Angie.
Yeah.
I'm like the yellow book. But no, I mean, I guess Google, that's like what the kids would probably say today. I'm so old. You know, it's like, it can be anything. But really, if I had my druthers and I could be doing, you know, one thing or two things all day, every day, it would be innovating for the rescue kit and continuing business development, because we work with a lot of vendors and venues, and being a day of dresser for brides, because within that environment and within that scope of work that I do, I get to do everything. I'm part therapist, I'm, you know, part stylist, I'm, you know, just everything that she needs on that day, really, truly her best friend. And by the end of the day, I'm like, you know, the one being lifted up in a chair in the horror. Like, you know, you just never know like where Risa's going to be. And I become really close with the family. And, you know, I'm added to the Christmas card list. And I've realized, like, in all of this, I've had such an incredible year, just an abundant year, like fully abundant. I've gotten to do so many cool things, but I'm coming to the close of Q4 and I'm starting to realize, like, weddings are my calling.
Mm-hmm.
And I've recently trademarked the term, the wedding emergency stylist. And I really want people to know me as that person. Yeah. And I still love the work that I've done, but that's really the direction I see myself going, because every time I get to wear that hat, I get to innovate for the rescue kit company. And there's just so many directions we want to take it. And it just, one feeds the other, and it's so great.
Absolutely. Like, I was going to ask you, my next question was just going to be like, when do you feel like the most empowered, like when you're doing what task? But I love that. Like, you already kind of answered it. And I feel like your product makes so much sense with like what you do. Like, if there was going to be one product to come out of like your styling and your experience, like the rescue kit makes so much sense for you. So it's perfect. It's like a match. But we did touch on how, like, you know, we are coming up towards the end of Q4 and Black Friday obviously is coming, and this episode's going to be, you know, launched around the time of Black Friday. Do you recommend to your brides or to anyone that you style that Black Friday is like a good time to take advantage of sales? And what should people be buying? Like, what are you recommending your brides keep their eyes on during Black Friday?
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting because people don't usually equate the wedding industry with sales, right? Like they're often thinking they're going to pay top dollar for everything. That's when they're spending the most. They've got this like reserved budget, but you can still have an incredible day. Nobody has to know how much you spent on anything. And I fully recommend that people take advantage of the sales. In fact, like, so much of my job is sourcing for people. And I always say I rarely pay full price for anything. I am a resale girly. Nobody has to know if your plates came off of an Etsy sale or if you ended up buying them from this really cool vintage store. Like, nobody has to know that stuff. Right. It could have been curated from a rental company. So I think this is an amazing time. And you really, like, I'm so glad we're talking about this because nobody really talks about this for brides.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that was like my initial thought, because I think, like, you know, when I was just doing an episode on like jewelry and, you know, what jewelry brides can take advantage of getting discounted on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I mean, there are sales all times of the year, but this is like the time of year where, like, I don't shop a lot, which is crazy because I am a shopping editor, but this is the time of year where I'm like, what do I need? Like, what should I think about potentially buying? Because you are going to get great deals on Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
So, you know, there's so many things I could touch on, but I'll keep it brief. Bridesmaids dresses, if you haven't decided on them, you know, and the girls are paying for them themselves. I think it's a great time for you as the bride to do the research, know what's coming up, really have like connected with the brands that you want to connect with, and like really have it on your radar, like who's running a sale. Like, you're always going to generally find something on Beholden, especially if you're doing mixed matched bridal gowns, like wedding gowns, or sorry, bridesmaids gowns. you can source from all over. So like Revolve's going to be having a Black Friday sale. Beholden's going to be having a Black Friday sale. Birdie Gray, if they haven't already started.
Right.
Jewelry companies like Kendra Scott, I think, just ended a big sale. So some of these people, you really have to be aware of like who's running them beforehand. But most people will generally run them around like the right before Black Friday through Cyber Monday. Birdie Gray, I think I mentioned, if you love the shoe company Bella Bell, that's a really popular shoe brand. So brands like that, but it doesn't just have to be fashion based. Think about paper goods. Like I always generally get like my holiday cards from Paper Culture on a Black Friday sale. So if you can wait and you have the luxury of time, or you are a bride who just had a fall engagement and you're planning a 2026 wedding, now is a great time to just kind of like get out there and see what's available to you. Test run some dresses, test run some dishes. Maybe you want to have like something made into like an heirloom piece, like a little handkerchief or something. Run to Etsy. There's always going to be small businesses will always run like a small business sale. Right. And we love to take care of the small businesses the most. But they're so generous to give us these sales. So head to Etsy for sure. That would be one of my, number one recommendations. And yeah, those are some of my, like Goriana, you're probably going to find a great jewelry sale if you're thinking about gifts for your girls. Yeah. And then, the places like the Thai Bar, or I know Indochino for men's suits, they're going to be running a sale. So really think about the guys in this case too, or dads, and maybe get some great socks for everybody and have a chance to get them monogrammed. There's just so many options out there.
Absolutely. And I do feel like now that we're talking about it, just thinking about it, you obviously, like, the bride and the groom are kind of overwhelmed if you're talking about planning a wedding. Like, I'm sure they have a lot going on, but it really doesn't take long to, like, send your bridesmaids a text and just be like, hey, like, I did notice that these dresses are on sale and this was the color that everyone's going for. Like, it's like those little things that make being part of a bridal party worth it. So I really like those recommendations. Have you ever, like, worked with a bride who made out with, like, a really great Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal on any part of her wedding?
Let's see. I mean, I have worked, when I was on the planning side of things, that felt like so long ago, but I have worked with a bride who was able to score like a bunch of just like random little gifts for people before Rescue Kit. Now I don't want to like put this out there and have people go run and build their own bathroom basket. However, and we'll get to Rescue Kit, but it's a great time if you're thinking about gift bags. Like I've had brides score things like the welcome bags and the gift bags like crazy on places like, Amazon and, some of the other big sites, Revolve even. But yes, I've had a bride like clean up one in particular just for all of those like welcome bags, because those can cost you like up to 150, depending on what you're doing, but anywhere from like 50 to 150 or more per bag. And if you have a 200 person, wedding guest list, that gets really expensive. So it's not necessarily always about like the fashion side of things. It's about like the little details that make the wedding. And that one in particular, that girl, she was a very savvy shopper. So that she did share with me.
Absolutely. And I guess just working with you obviously makes someone more savvy, because you, like, once you start working with a bride, you probably just like are giving tips when you don't even realize you're giving tips. Just like in conversation, you're, offering like, oh, you should shop here, or you should check out here. And then they make out with like the best deal and they're so happy.
It's so true. Like, I am a wealth of knowledge. I've just accumulated so much. And I work with a great styling software program. I'm a part of this like group of stylists, and we all work within this community. We use this platform that gives us access to so many brands. And I've learned about so many brands that I didn't even know existed through this platform that we all get like perks from as stylists. So I get to then curate little catalogs and things digitally that I can share with my clients and just open their eyes to so many brands. And there's too many brands out there to even, recommend, but I am lucky enough that I'm in like a network that, and I've gotten it coming from all angles, from the wedding industry, from home to fashion. I just sort of know a lot of what exists out there. And then in turn, I get to share that with my clients. And when they book a consult with me in the very beginning stages of their planning, I let them know, hey, like, I will let you know, I'll keep an eye. If there's a brand that you really love, like, I'll create an alert for myself. And that's part of the perks of getting to work with me and having somebody sort of look out for that stuff. So I'm like, in addition to your planner, somebody who can really keep an eye out on savings for you, because you're not always going to get those savings from vendors. So you have to get it wherever else you can get it, which is generally through the small things that you're buying.
100%. And that is like what is such a relief about working with a stylist like you. Like, you have the conversation in the beginning, you know what your bride is looking for. Being able to just be like, okay, Risa's gonna like look out for when this thing goes on sale, or when she sees a really great look that kind of looks like this, or a pair of shoes. Like, that is such a relief for someone who's planning a huge wedding, because planning a wedding is crazy. Yes, that's amazing. So, okay, so how is the Rescue Kit Company leaning into Black Friday, if at all? Like, do you guys have any deals going on? What's going on?
Okay, yes, of course. We have to offer. I mean, we want to, we get to, we're small, but it's so important to us to take care of the people who are coming to our site and learning about us. So we have a special code for Dinner for Shoes listeners.
Oh, yes. Okay, we love that.
We have a code dinner30 for nice. 30% off. It's the most we ever do on the site. And we're going to run that, now through December 25th.
Okay.
So we're running that for a while for your listeners. And, I'm sure like we'll sprinkle in some other things along the way that we might surprise people with, but that is for sure something that we want to offer this year. And we need to stay competitive with all these other companies. But it's really important to us that you can be prepared and save money while doing so. And, we want you to come to us as the authority for fashion emergency tools and kits for your big day.
That's amazing.
I like people to know that like everything I've done is self-taught.
Yeah.
And I've done it with like grit and resilience and perseverance. And I have not backed down from any opportunity that comes my way. And I think it's important for people to know that like, you don't need to take a certain path to get to where you see yourself going.
100%.
And that's really important for young people, especially. And I think they're leaning it into a lot more now that, traditional 4-year school, while I did go back to ASU and get my degree, I was 29 years old when I went back to school.
Yeah.
And I worked for all of those years up until then. And so like your journey is never going to look like anyone else's. So if there's anything I can say to people, it's, just pursue the path that is meant for you. Whether there's going to be a lot of bumps along the way, but whether you know what that end is or not, like if you don't have a clear vision, but that there's something bigger out there for you and you're meant for more, like just do it, because nobody's going to do it for you. And there is no right or wrong way to end up. And like, look where I am at now. And I knew I would do something in weddings, but I had no idea that it could turn into like two full blown businesses that I'm able to pay my bills and like do what I love and take care of people along the way. It's like such a blessing.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed my interview with Risa. I hope you take advantage of the incredible Black Friday code that she's sharing with our Dinner for Shoes listeners. And now we are going to eat, in celebration of my interview with her favorite meal, which is Bolognese. And I thought about, I have a few like interesting things. I also realized that I had 2 things to tell you guys before the interview, and then I forgot to say it. This is just a random one, but if you watched last week's episode when I was drinking soberish, I was told that I definitely did not get a buzz because I did not put enough sober-ish into my beverage. I was supposed to put the entire little can, not like the entire little bottle, not just a squeeze of it. So that was interesting. So I acted like I had a buzz, I guess, but I didn't. But really, I think I was probably just as buzzed as I am now. As I said to the soberish team, I am naturally buzzed every time we record, so not even surprised. Now, they smell something, which I knew that was going to happen, and I did think about it. I was like, should I actually empty this Bolognese into a bowl bowl bolognese, because I see that it's in like a Tupperware little pint to go container. But I really do think that there's something to showing the way like a restaurant presents their to-go orders. And I just want it to be real and authentic and like honestly as down to earth as possible. And in all actuality, bolognese is so good that like I don't want to even take the time to transfer it to a bowl. Now, oh my God, that does look really good. See? Did they just give me bolognese sauce and no pasta? I'm like actually, oh my God. Guys, did this actually just happen? Like, this is bolognese sauce without pasta. And literally the picture, I kid you not, look at this picture. Bolognese. Oh my God, Megan, this is insane. This would happen to me. Literally, this shit doesn't happen to anyone else. And bolognese is made with ground beef. And my mom just sent me a link that ground beef is being recalled. So honestly, my life. What is my life? But also, this is my life. So it just is accurate. And I'm glad this happened. I also I don't want to complain okay, what's so weird too is the restaurant. So I got the bolognese from, what did I get it from? NAPOLI'S, right? I got it from NAPOLI'S. Okay, NAPOLI'S has 2 different locations. It says that my order is still being prepared. So maybe they're still preparing the pasta part of the bolognese, and Michael was itching to deliver the first half and just went ahead and delivered it without the pasta because it is literally still being prepared. Like, he probably forgot the pasta. I will say, normally I mess up. Normally, like, I would have ordered the bolognese without the pasta, but in this case, I definitely did not. Also, just the fact, now let me also say this because this is important information and I was going to tell you guys this. So my order was $17, which honestly seems for like the small order of bolognese, like what it should be. But it's still being prepared, obviously, but I also added on a side of Parmesan cheese because, to make a long story short, the people who watch our cats, who I love to death, something happened where the fridge was left open and we had to get rid of like all of our, everything in our fridge and freezer because we got home from our vacation and everything was melted. And so we had to throw out our Parmesan cheese. So I forgot to restock the parm. And basically, oh my God, this does look like good bolognese. You know what? Fuck the pasta. We're watching our carbs, I guess. Shit, it smells really good. But so I asked for a side of Parmesan cheese and I got an email from DoorDash that literally was like, you will be charged $1.76 for a side of Parmesan cheese. So I'm gonna fucking eat this Parmesan cheese like there's no tomorrow. I will tell you that. You guys are funny though. No, I mean, you guys can have a little bit of the cheese, but I also need to talk about my favorite Black Friday deals, and you're not making it easy. All right. That's enough cheese for you. All right, let's try this bolognese. Let's fucking get in there. Let's try it. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, it's still warm too. Holy fuck. That is really good. I mean, all it's missing is pasta. Wow. Okay. Wow. Oh my God. That is really good bolognese. Maybe it's because I haven't had bolognese in a while. Now, I'm a really big fan of NAPOLI'S. I will say, if you live in Hoboken and you haven't ordered from NAPOLI'S, or you have, but you haven't ordered from both locations, I've tried both. I recommend the downtown location. I think it's the best. Stop bothering me for 1 second. I'm going to eat more of this, but you guys are really bothering me. Let me check to see what location I ordered from. I ordered from, oh, it doesn't say on here. It probably says on DoorDash, but we all know what happens when I start opening up my phone. I literally get lost in there. I get lost in the sauce. No pun intended, but there it is. So they're scrambling so I can talk about my deals. So what I will say is that I think the downtown location's better. Nick doesn't necessarily agree with me that NAPOLI'S is where it's at. I think that they have great pizza. I really like NAPOLI'S. It's always been a favorite of mine. And my family who moved to Charleston, they enjoy the pizza when they come back up to Jersey. So highly recommend NAPOLI'S. Highly recommend the bolognese with pasta unless you're gonna make your own. And I'm sorry, Risa, that I didn't have the full-fledged deal here. Like, this is the first time that I think I didn't order exactly what the guest told me to order, what my special guest told me to order. Oh man, I'm really killing it today. Okay, so let's talk about what Black Friday deals I recommend you take advantage of on Black Friday / Cyber Monday / Cyber Week, because these days it's literally not just like 2 days anymore, it's forever. Okay. So what I basically did was I have 5 categories for a fashion girly. If you're a fashion girly, guy, non-binary, if you're a fashion person, if you are a fashion person, I think that there are 5 categories you need to make sure you have the best of the best in. Now, I want to be clear. I think that these 5 categories are worth investing in. So I have given 3 options under each category. Most of the time I have broken them up by under 1,000, over 1,000, under 500. There are some categories where I have under 200 and under 500, but those are my big price points that I've broken these links up by basically. And I think you will get bang for your buck. If you purchase any of these items, you will wear them so many times or use them so many times as a fashion person that you will absolutely, especially taking advantage of the discount on Black Friday, get your money's worth from these items. Now, not only that, if you watched our Vintage Sites episode, Sicilian Slice and Vintage Sites, you know that there are also so many apps now where you can resell your clothes. You can have people borrow your clothes. So you could buy any of these trench coats, my 5 categories: trench coats, bags, boots, luggage, jewelry. I've always counted the wrong way. Like most people are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the way I count. I don't know. It was happened in childhood. I haven't gotten rid of that habit. And so anyway, you can have all of those items be either resold if you decide you're no longer in love with it, or you can have someone borrow these items using an app like Toolery or Pickle. So I think you are going to get your money's worth, is what I'm saying. Let's start with the trench coat. Okay, so my first recommendation is under $1,000. We are going with the Reformation Vita coat. Now, remember I talked about trench coats in the beginning. All of these trench coats have a little something special about them. They are not your typical trench coat. Now, the Reformation Vita jacket, the entire Reformation site will be 25% off, beginning November 27th through midnight on December 2nd. And this jacket, oh my God, I just love it. So it's got a leather collar, which just gives it that little extra feel. You can shop it in this mole color. You can shop it in a Chianti, so it's like a wine, and a black. And I obviously recommend the classic mole. It's like an oat, distressed looking leather. It's really beautiful. Of course, knowing Reformation, they are very upfront about the eco-friendly products that they use to make their jackets. So I think that you will also be proud to wear this one. I love it. I think it also comes to the perfect length, especially as someone who's petite. Your over $1,000 option, I am going with Burberry. Burberry is classic. When you think of trench coat, you will always think of Burberry. I will always think of Burberry first. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. So I'm going with the Burberry check pattern cotton trench. Now, Burberry obviously has a lot of just plain simple trenches. Oh my God, they have every trench under the sun. They are literally known for their trench. But what I really love about this one is, first of all, it's conscious. So it's made with eco-conscious materials. And the sleeves are really awesome in that they're kind of spliced open. So you can see the classic Burberry check and wear it that way, or you can kind of twist the outside of the sleeves and button it just so that it looks like more of a classic trench. It's very cool. And you can get this one. Well, this was 25% discounted right now. So it's retailing for $2,377, but it originally retailed for $3,150. If you want to invest in a trench coat because you love them and you know you will have it for life, Burberry is where to go. Under 500, I am going Ganni. Ganni checkered lapel belted trench coat. This one is also really cool. Like I said, they all have really awesome details. On Farfetch, this is discounted 30% off for Black Friday. It's $368, originally $525. Obviously, the collar is just so cool. It gives it that something extra. I also think that the flap at the back is really unique. Definitely check it out. It's got this like buttoned flap that's kind of square and sits like that. that. So I think that that's really cool. I also think the oversized, like thick sleeves are really awesome. All right, let's go to bag. I don't have a bag today, but I'm going to talk about these bags. Now, for my over $1,000 recommendation, oh my God, I just got a notification from DoorDash. Your order from Napoli's is out for delivery and should be delivered soon. So then what the fuck is this? Is my pasta coming? I swear to God, if my pasta comes by the end of this episode, I'm going to scream and shout. I am so excited, confused, and also wondering whether or not I need to complain to DoorDash. Like, honestly, what is going on? Okay, so let's get back to the bags. So I'm recommending the Burberry Large Night Hobo Bag in this delicious chocolate brown. Available on FWRD. It is retailing for $17.45. It's a big purchase. And it was originally $34.90. So that is obviously very discounted. Now, my reasoning, and let's just say this is sold out. Honestly, for all of these products, let's say they're sold out by the time this episode airs, even though we do it pretty quick. We have a quick turnaround because Megan's amazing. But if these things are sold out, you need to get these things. I mean, they are also available on other retailers. You can simply search in Google the names of these products and find something. But the point is that you need these things. A brown hobo bag is a large one, is probably one of the coolest bags you can have for fall, winter. And I promise you, Bohemians, here to stay right now. This hobo bag is versatile. It can fit a lot. You will literally be able to use this bag for life. Just knowing it's Burberry too means that, of course, you can also resell it. It has a really good resale value. It's made in Italy. It has an adjustable strap so you can wear it at any height you want. I don't know. I just think that that's a really great option. And I do like how much it's discounted. For my under $1,000 option, I'm going with something interesting that I think, yes, maybe this is more my style than everybody's style, but I'm going to make a good case for it. So this is the Cult Gaia Reina Gold Tone Clutch. It is in the shape of a bust. Now, that's a very Schiaparelli move. Schiaparelli. Yeah.
Elsa Schiaparelli.
Schiaparelli. Bolognese. Schiaparelli. Okay, so it's a very Schiaparelli move, having like the bust, and just these kind of like erotic shapes. I'm sure you've seen a lot of breastplates. Mugler is another brand that is like doing it a lot. And I think it's really cool to have a clutch that looks like a work of art like this. Now, I will tell you, the reason why I am saying that you will get your bang for your buck with this is, first of all, it's 40% off for Black Friday. It's $539. It was originally $898. So looking at close to $1,000, right? You're almost at 50% off there. I mean, I can't math very well, but 40% is almost 50%. And I constantly, every time I go to a wedding, since I am a gold jewelry gal, I constantly am thinking, I need a gold clutch. Why don't I have a gold clutch to match with the gold jewelry that I'm accessorizing with? So I'm telling you, every event, you will reach for a clutch like this. If this is not your style, I would say, and you're more of a silver person, rose gold even, go silver. Look for a silver clutch like this that's just not necessarily a bust, but, just a really beautiful avant-garde shape. You will use it forever. Something like that will never go out of style because artful clutches, in my opinion, are always cool and they always will be cool. Now, for my bag under 200, we have an under 200 here, I am going for the Coach Nolita. Now, Coach is definitely having a resurgence. If you go to Coach Outlet, they have so many bags on sale for Black Friday. This bag is retailing for $129. The original value is $218. What I like about it is that it's a little sporty. There is a little gimmicky nod to a Telfar bag with the big C, but it also kind of speaks to like the resurgence of Coach as a brand. If you need a classic black shoulder bag and you don't have one, and you are a 90s person and you like to create outfits that veer 90s-esque, you need this bag. I mean, for $129, I feel like that's a great deal to take advantage of on Black Friday. Now let's talk about boots. So that my vagina didn't show. Okay, boots. Let's talk about Schutz because these are the Maryana Croc boot. This is my under $200 option. at Nordstrom, these are available for $149. They originally retailed for $298. That's a 50% off deal. I think that is so worth taking advantage of. You can shop them in both the dark chocolate and the eggshell color that I have. I'm telling you, I wear these all the time. They are comfortable, even though they have that knife stiletto heel. I don't feel like my foot is too angled when I'm walking in them. I can walk for miles in them. Maybe not a full marathon worth miles, but miles. The color is so versatile. This eggshell goes with everything. Also, Schutz offers half sizes. Love a half size. I'm a 6.5. So when I get a 7, it's too big. When I get a 6, it's too small. There you go. And okay, finally, not finally. We have 2 more for the boots category. Over 1,000. You want to make a big purchase on boots, go for it. I highly recommend that. I am going to say the Balenciaga knife buckle detailed leather knee boots is what you should be checking out. If you need a black knee-high boot with a little something extra, like a very cool buckle detail like this, I think you will get your money's worth. These are on sale for 30% off for Black Friday. They retail for $1,628. Originally, they were $2,325. Great deal. I think they're so chic. You need to be able to walk in a heel, though, if you choose these. I will say that because the heel does look high. Under 500 boots. I am going with the Stout Cami boot. These are retailing on Net-a-Porter. I think they are a beautiful color in this brown. They also do come in black, but they are 50% off. They're very tall. They kind of border on an over-the-knee boot, but I like that. I think suede is also really cool. I already recommended 2 leather options, so I want to go suede here. And I just think this brown is another very good neutral to add to your wardrobe. And I think that the heel height is also really cool. It's also kind of sculptural and angled, which I think is awesome. Always looking for that. Let's do jewelry next. And then I'm going to surprise you with the last category. I already told you my last category is luggage, which I know isn't really fashion, but I'm stressed out. I need to stress eat, okay? The kids are being loud outside. Who plays in the rain? Who plays in the rain? Oh my God. Oh my God, this is so good. I'm like stress eating. I should stress eat on camera more often. Does anyone want an episode full of stress eating? Like, I am down for that. Okay, jewelry. Under 200. Under 200, we are going with this really fucking cool ring that I found that I think I might buy right now. This is the Monica Vinader Nura Freshwater Pearl Ring. It's on sale for 30% off. Originally $150, it's $105. It's very cool because the hardware doesn't loop all the way around. The pearl kind of closes it off. I think it's so beautiful. I am a pearl person. It's made from 18 karat gold, vermeil, and silver, and it's just really elegant and beautiful. I could see myself wearing something like that all the time, so I would take advantage of something like that. Above $1,000. I think you guys are gonna love this one. I love this one. On Shopbop, I don't know if you know this, but Shopbop, they do stock What Goes Around Comes Around, which is a vintage site, a vintage brand. And one of the things that they have, obviously you got to get your hands on it. There's a chance it won't be there by the time you're listening to this episode, in which case just check out their full stock of What Goes Around Comes Around on Shopbop. A lot of it is discounted for Black Friday. But this Chanel gold medallion chain belt, I think you will wear this for the rest of your life. It has a high resale value as long as you take care of it. It's on sale for 40% off. Originally $19.50. It's $11.70. When the commas are in there, I get confused with reading. And it's beautiful. It's in great condition, and I love gold. I think that's probably my one bias here is like everything that I'm recommending is going to be gold leaning, but you can wear that around dresses. You can wear that with jeans. Like, you will find so many ways to wear that cool 80s-esque belt with a tweed suit. Come on, like, be really cocoa about it, you know? So I really like that. My under $500 recommendation is by Completed Works. If you haven't heard of the brand Completed Works, they are definitely really big in the jewelry world, and I think this necklace is sick. Again, if you want to get the pearl ring that I recommended as well as this necklace, they go together. This is the ultimate party necklace. This is on sale. It's $330. It was $550. It's called the Temporal Anomaly necklace. It is half pearl, and the pearls kind of grow in size as they get towards the back, and then half CZ, like they're crystals, and they are set. I was looking for the word set. That's the one I was looking for. They are set in gold. I'm also looking for the spaghetti. Where the fuck is it? They are set in gold, and it's the half and half necklace, which I think you really can see how cool it is on a person. So that's why I wanted to show that picture. And I think it's really cool. I think it's a conversation starter. I think any party you go to, if it works with your outfit, which this is a very versatile necklace, I think it will work with a lot of outfits, you will get compliments on that necklace. Now let's go luggage. And for luggage, I will tell you that I am really looking within here, both what I want and what I own and what I've owned in the past. For the under $1,000 option, we are going vintage. We are going pre-owned. We love sustainability. Farfetch, if you didn't know this, Farfetch has a bunch of pre-owned pieces stocked on their site. And they have this Louis Vuitton pre-owned bag. It's a 1994 Keep All 50 duffel bag. It is on sale, but 15% off. Originally stocked when it was first hit the site at $755. It is now $642. It looks like it's in great condition. You can read about all of the details, and it says it's in good condition. It's previously owned. It has minimal fading. I mean, it's gonna fade anyway. It's luggage. This is a sick bag. If you want to be one of those people who carries their Louis through the airport or just on a weekend trip, this is the weekender for you. For under $500, you are going with my suitcase. This is the best fucking suitcase in the world. Both Nick and I own one. It's by Away. Away is a great luggage brand. They have all different sizes of their suitcases, from carry-ons to checked bags. The trunk is where it's at. This bag has so many compartments for the fashion person. It has the straps that you can tighten over each compartment so that it's got the extra compression. It's so big and spacious. I take this on all of my international flights. Sometimes if I'm even going away for like 5 nights, I'll take this, especially if I'm like bringing these boots with me. You know, boots, they take up a lot of room. You could also be the person wearing their boots through the airport. Like, totally no judgment there. I'm also that person. It also comes in so many colors. I wanted to show it in the sea green just because that's the color I have, but Nick actually owns it in the olive. So we're the greens, just going through the airport. And I will tell this story quickly because it's hilarious. Nick and my dad both share this in common. They actually share a lot of things. They have a lot of things in common, but both of them, when they are grabbing the bags for everyone post-trip, which grateful to them for that, they take the bag, they find the bags, they take it off the conveyor belt, baggage claim, and they look at the tag to make sure, like, this is actually so-and-so's bag. This is Rachel's bag. This is Sarah's bag, whatever, my sister, me. This is Trisha's bag. And these suitcases, no one else has them. No one else has two that they come out next to each other, an olive green Away and a seafoam green Away. And yet every time Nick takes them off the belt, he checks the tag. And I'm like, you are my father. And I'm just like, did you think like there was another Sarah with that bag? Because like I have my name written pretty big on the bag. But these bags are great. Nick loves them too. So even if you want to get one for a male in your life who is looking for luggage, I cannot recommend that bag more. The Away trunk retails for $326, originally $435. So a great deal to take advantage of. And then just because we did do a duffel, and then we also did a trunk, which you would have to check, I'm going to go carry on here. Calpak is a great luggage brand as well. Their carry-ons are 60% off for Black Friday, and I am recommending this insane one. I've actually never used this one. I've used a Calpak carry-on before. It lasted me years, but this one has this front pocket, making it a bestseller. It comes in so many different colors. The front pocket is perfect for laptops, for laptop storage. I mean, I cannot recommend this bag enough. It looks like the optimal carry-on. It's $159, and it originally retailed for $265. So those are all of my fashionista must-haves for Black Friday. I hope you shop. I hope you take advantage of these deals. I honestly might now. I'm gonna stress eat before I do, though. Trish gets so excited every time I open up the Bolognese. Happy Thanksgiving. I love you guys. I'm grateful for you. Even though we already hit our 1 year mark, really good chunky onions in this, by the way. Even though we already hit our 1 year mark at Dinner for Shoes, I do have this like nostalgic memory of filming one of the first ever episodes about how much I hate Thanksgiving. And I'm just thinking about how now, like, we're doing a Black Friday episode, and like maybe next year we'll do like a Cyber Monday episode. And that's all I could think of right now. I'm honestly so tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. Love you. Bye. That one was a doozy. Maybe we shouldn't say that, Megan. Fuck, I'm like not on my game today. All right. Ugh. Why am I drenched in sweat? This jacket's obviously really, really warm. Fuck. All right. It's a good thing I'm wearing nothing underneath this. Oh my God. All right. Today I am on one. Fuck. Maybe don't put that in either.